I'm not here to tell you Austin Ames is a bad person. I'm here to ask something more uncomfortable. Why did we watch what he did and call it romantic?
I can't sleep without knowing there's hope. Half the night, I waste in sighs.
Because if you strip away the rain, the football jersey, and the Princeton poetry emails, what you actually have is a guy who watched the girl he claimed to love get humiliated repeatedly and did nothing until it was safe.
And who, may you ask, is this imposter? Diner girl, Sam Montgomery!
Come on.
People like her don't belong in our world, Austin.
And we gave him a happy ending. Today on Monica's Pie, we're not canceling Austin Ames. We're asking what it says about us that we made him a childhood crush in the first place. Let's just look at the timeline. No interpretation, just what happens. Austin watches Sam bully Shelby repeatedly. He says nothing.
Wow! If it isn't Diner Girl!
Thank you.
She is so not getting a tip.
He emails Sam poetry and calls himself Nomad and builds an entire emotional connection in private, while in public, he and Sam don't exist to each other.
Where have you been? We haven't talked in ages.
When Sam's identity is revealed, he sees her standing alone, exposed in front of the whole school, and he chooses his reputation. He comes back at the last possible moment, the big game, end of senior year, college starting in weeks, the social hierarchy of that school about to dissolve forever. That's the timeline. Now, here's the question. At what point did Austin take a risk for Sam when it actually cost him something? The answer is never. Every move he makes is timed perfectly to when the cost is zero. And here's where it gets interesting, because Austin Ames isn't a villain. He's a 17-year-old kid under enormous social pressure doing what 17-year-old kids under enormous social pressure do, protecting himself. That's human. That's understandable. In isolation, it's not even that damning. The problem isn't Austin. The problem is the story around him. A Cinderella Story frames his behavior as a love story. The private emails are romantic. The grand gesture in the rain is the payoff. We're supposed to feel relief when he finally chooses Sam, not ask why it took him until the last week of school to do it.
Okay, I know that you think that I'm just some
Coward. Phony.
The movie taught a generation of teenagers that this pattern, emotional intimacy in private, public cowardice, last-minute heroism when the stakes are gone, is what love looks like.
Austin and I are almost back together. I mean, it isn't official or anything, but it's on. What are you doing?
something I should have done a long time ago.
That the grand gesture cancels the months of silence, that showing up eventually is the same as showing up. It isn't, but we watched it at 13 and filed it under romance. Think about how many real relationships are built on this exact template. The person who is wonderful in private but disappears when you need them in public, who sends the perfect messages at 2 a.m. but doesn't acknowledge you in front of their friends, who shows up with a grand gesture after weeks of absence and calls it love. We recognize that pattern because we were trained to find it romantic, not by one movie, by a whole genre of stories that told us bravery doesn't have to be consistent, that it only has to happen once, dramatically, at the right moment. Austin Ames didn't invent bystander behavior, he just made it look good in a football jersey, and we were so focused on the jersey that we didn't look at the behavior. Sam deserved someone who didn't need the social pressure to dissolve before he could be honest. That's not a high bar. That's the minimum. But the more important question isn't about Sam and Austin, it's about us. How many times have we accepted the grand gesture as payment for the silence that came before it? How many times did we call it romantic because that's what we were taught romantic looks like? Tell me in the comments, is the grand gesture enough, or is consistency the thing we should have been looking for all along? I'm Sana, this is Monica's Pie. Stay sharp, stay cynical. See you in the next one.